Hi everyone, it's Vicky here from createafashionbrand.com and fashionserviceshongkong.com. This week I got an email from Ed, who's in Singapore. Now Ed is on my newsletter, and he's thinking about starting a fashion business. And he's doing some research into me and how I work with clients and build fashion brands. And he's obviously been looking through my Fashion Brand Bootcamp videos. I can tell from the question. And his question is something that's a little more abstract that we don't talk very much about generally in questions. I don't get a lot of questions on this, but it is something that is really important. So I thought it was a great question this week. And his question was, in your 3 C's, why is consistency important? Okay, Ed, and everybody else who is thinking about a fashion business already has one. My 3 C's, the method that I use for every client, whether they're on the bootcamp or whether they're private, is that I base my method on 3 areas, my 3 C's. So they are your core values, which we talk a lot about in other videos and blog posts and things, your consumers or customers, which again I talk about a lot, and the third one, which you've asked about, Ed, consistency. Now consistency seems a little obvious. You have to make everything consistent, sure, but it's actually quite difficult to achieve, especially when you're focused on building your brand and doing so many different things. So because it's a bit of an abstract concept, let me use an example to kind of answer your question. Let's say, for example, you are building a company that's based around eco-fabrics, the environment. Now, consistency would mean that all of your products would have to be made from sustainable fabrics, ones that hopefully don't pollute the environment, and also you'd have to think about where you're manufacturing, the product footprint, all these different kinds of things. If you decided, okay, I'm going to go with a fabric that's not sustainable, for example, I would then say to you, right, is that consistent with your core values? Is it consistent with the type of customers that you're trying to attract? No, it's not. So you should maybe think about something that is more sustainable. In the same way, it applies to every other aspect of your business. So how you do your marketing, is it consistent with your core values and your customers? What about your price points? Can you sell the product that's consistent with the price points you need to make a profit, because businesses have to have some profit, but also stay true to your values and what you're trying to do? Is your marketing consistent? The location's photo shoot? What about your website, your homepage, your about page? What about your social media accounts? What about the interviews you're doing? What about the bloggers that you're doing? Are they consistent with your message? Are they, are they into sustainable materials, eco-fashion, things like that? So you've got to really think about consistency all the way through, from your ideas to every choice that you make in your fashion brand. And the reason that I make it one of my 3 C's is because core values and customers, you'll hear from a lot of people. But consistency, like I said, it's quite an abstract topic, but it's easier to think about when you're actually going through a process, when people are actually building the brand with you. And it's also something that people don't often focus on, but it's one of the 3 most important parts of building your business. You essentially have to have the trust of your customers to keep your business going or to even launch. So consistency is really, really important for your brand. Ed, I hope I've explained why it's important. Hopefully I will see you on the Fashion Brand next year, and I can explain to you a bit more about how you actually do that in your business. And we'll go through all of the steps while I help you build that business. But for everybody else, if you've got a question, and to Ed, if you've got more questions, don't forget you can get on my newsletter. It comes out every week with more advice, only available to those on the list, plus a free 66-page startup guide. Or you can leave me a comment on one of my videos. Don't forget, if I if I've helped in any kind of way, I hope I have, but please like and share my video. It just helps me to reach more people and help them to have successful businesses as well. And don't forget to follow my channel. And I will see you next week with another answer to another question.